today's show. Let's get into a team that many people have kind of been overlooking. A team that people are like, oh, you're still in the NFL? And that is the one and only the Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, quietly, the Philadelphia Eagles are on a 3-game winning streak. Quietly, they're now 5-2 on the season. Quietly, they have gotten the ship right. Quietly, they are competing and tied for the NFC East championship right now. But guys, let's just flash back just to 5 weeks ago. 5 weeks ago, they were 2-2 on the season. They had wins over the Packers back in Brazil week 1. Then they lose week 2. And then they shut down the high-flying Saints week 3. But then week 4 rolled around. They get dominated by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 33-16. It was an embarrassing loss. Here on the Man Hour, here on other platforms that I was listening to, especially Philadelphia Sports Talk, they were having the Eagles' heads. They wanted to fire Nick Sirianni, get Kellen Moore out of there. Jalen Hurts is terrible, bench him. A.J. Brown, where have you been? He was injured, but where have you been? And they wanted to fire everybody. They wanted to bench everybody. Going into the bye week, it made it that much worse. But since then, since that bye week, since the whole firing everybody, they have wins over the Browns, Giants, and Bengals, giving them a 3-game winning streak. A really good 3-game winning streak, let's just be honest, right? But when we look at the Philadelphia Eagles, we have to ask ourselves, are they the front runners in the NFC East? Are they going to win that NFC East title? Are they going to dethrone and put the Commanders back down to reality where they belong, down there in second and third, fourth place? When you look at the Eagles right now, they are currently sitting in second place. They are 1 game down in the win column, but they do have 5 division games left. They still got to play the Commanders twice. They still got to play the Cowboys twice. And of course, they play the Giants one more time to round out the season. They also got some big games coming up as well. This weekend, right? They play the Commanders. And then they play, in 2 weekends, they played the Commanders. And then they play the Ravens, the Steelers, and then they play the Commanders again. 4 really, really big games, 4 very losable games. But outside of those four games, they should win the next 6 other games. I think they will at least split with the Commanders, so that gives them 7 more wins on the season. That is an 11-12 win season there. They are going to do some work. Now, the Commanders got some big games as well, right? The Commanders still got to play the Steelers, still got to play the Eagles, of course they do play the Eagles twice, and then they play the Falcons. And those other 5 games they should win. I feel they will split with the Eagles as well. But are the Eagles the front runners in the East? Guys, that is a complete yes. That is a complete yes, because I am just waiting for the other shoe to drop for the Commanders, right? I am waiting for the Commanders to lose a close game, to lose a game that they're supposed to win, and I want to see how they rebound from that. I have more faith in the Eagles to win those 6 games that they're supposed to win than the Commanders winning the 5 games that they're supposed to win, right? And I expect the Eagles to potentially beat a team like the Steelers and the Ravens or somebody else, right? And that will put them up over the top. I think the Eagle guys are the frontrunners in the NFC East. I think they have been there, or I don't think they have been there, and they have done that. I know last season they just had to win 1 game to wrap up the East, and they couldn't do it, and they gave away that division, right? But so far this season, they dealt with those issues, right? Nick Sirianni, as long as he doesn't start to lose games that he should win, he's a head case, and he'll be just fine. This team has gone through turmoil, and this Philadelphia Eagles team has gotten right. And this Philadelphia team is now the team to beat in the NFC East. This Philadelphia Eagles team might be the team to beat in the playoffs. This Philadelphia Eagles team is a team that everybody should be watching out for. A.J. Brown is healthy. Jalen Hurts is playing at an MVP level. And let's not forget about Saquon Barkley. So, guys, let me ask you this question. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, Are they now the front runners in the NFC East? Are they going to go out there and dethrone the Commanders? Are they going to keep the Cowboys down at bay in third place? Are they going to keep kicking down the Giants? Are the Philadelphia Eagles the kings of the East? Let me know in the comments below. John says it is going to go down to the last week of the season. And as it probably should, I think the Eagles and Cowboys play week 18, right? And then the Commanders and then the Giants play week 18 as well. Let me confirm that. No, sorry. Yeah. So the Eagles play the Giants and then the Commanders play the Cowboys week 18. But really, if you look at the Eagles' last schedule, the last 3 weeks, they play the Commanders, Cowboys, and Giants. So honestly, John, it's probably going to come down to week 16. Honestly, when they play the Commanders that December 22nd game, the couple days before Christmas, I think the division comes down to that game. If not the November 14th game, right? The Commanders versus the Eagles head-to-head is going to determine it. And I think the Eagles have been there, done that, and they're a better team. The one thing about the Commanders is they have been overachieving all season long. We expected them to be decent, but not to be great, right? The defense was old, full of old. When you look at the Commanders' defense, they're full of old heads. At what point are they going to start to break down? That's the biggest thing about the Commanders, is when that other shoe is going to drop. When are the injuries going to start to pile up? We've already seen Jay Daniels get hurt with those ribs. He did come back, but I get it. Laura says the Eagles are only winning because they played horrible teams. So Laura is giving us the take that many people are sticking by with a lot of those top teams in the AFC, right? Or sorry, in the NFC, with the Commanders, with the Detroit Lions, right? With the you can say the Kansas City Chiefs and the Steelers, right? Who have they played? The Eagles have got to play who they got in front of them. I get that, but the Giants is a division game. That was Saquon Barkley's revenge game. And the Eagles literally took the gas off in the third quarter, halfway through the third quarter, just to make it somewhat respectable, right? 28-3 is kind of a shellacking when you didn't even play your starters near the whole second half. And the Bengals are not a terrible team, and the Browns are not a terrible team, but they're not great, right? They're not great. So I will give you that, Laura. I will give you that they played horrible teams. But to be honest, we're not going to see the Eagles play anybody until they play the Commanders in 2 weeks, right? They play the Jaguars on Sunday, then they play the Cowboys, at least at Dallas, the following week. So maybe we'll see how they can do, right? James says the Commanders used up a lot of their luck last weekend. So James is saying, Commanders, luck, yeah, it's over. It's over. No more lucky wins for you. Eagles still got the luck on them. The Eagles still got the luck on their side. The Eagles are still going to do their thing. Slow it down, baby. And John says coin flip. It's a coin flip between the Commanders and the Eagles. John, way to waffle around that answer, my man. This is a waffle-free zone, John. Put a name on it. Who is going to win the East? I'm saying this Philadelphia Eagles are going to win the East. Eagles are them. Mark D says, you are hyping up Philly, but they weren't even in your power rankings. Like I said, they should be. It's fluid. It's from week to week. It's from day to day, baby. Mark, slow it down, baby. The Commanders are playing really good football right now. But that doesn't mean come November, come December, come January that the Commanders are still going to be playing good football. James said it best. They used up all their luck. Their luck is all done, run free. We need another rainy day so we can find the end of the rainbow. Just because I'm hyping up the Eagles now doesn't mean that they're a top 10 power ranking team right now. Which they're probably 12, 13-ish, give or take, wherever, like however you want to put the like the Seahawks and the 49ers and see where they fall. But they're going to win the East. They're going to win the East. Laura says, I am biased. I don't like the Eagles. Man, Laura, you have teams that you hate. Bengals, hate them. Lions, they're okay. Packers, hate them. Steelers, hate them. Eagles, hate them. I like it. So that tells me Laura is picking the Commanders basically because she does not like the Eagles. It is. John says, I like when are we going to talk about the trap game to ruin the Chiefs' undefeated season? Where No Way's coming up there, John. Hour number 2. We'll be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. It is time to talk about how great they are. I get it. He's saying the Washington Commanders are winning that game. 6 or 7, I think, Mark. So John thinks the Eagles are the 6th or 7th best team in the NFL right now. 6th or 7th best team in the NFL, says John. Mark says they should be in the top 10 power rankings, but then you guys contradict yourself and say, oh, they haven't played nobody. Well, I guess Mark and John don't contradict yourself, but Laura's like, look, they haven't played nobody yet. So how can they be a top 10 team or 6 or 7 if they haven't played nobody? I don't know. It is. It's a crazy NFL game that we hate them. Oh, Chiefs, hate them, says Laura. Kaylee's in the chat today. What's up, Kaylee? She says she only dislikes the Bengals because of me. Bengals are just facts, she says. I had a couple people, some friends of mine. I coached their kid in